everyone, and welcome to Live in the Solution. These are your readings for February the 26th through March the 4th. And first of all, I want to give a little astrological report on what's going on, because there's a lot going on this week. And I will put in the show more section below the timeline that you can skip the astrological report if you are checking out your sun, moon and rising, because these are for your sun, moon and rising also. Thank you guys for all the wonderful comments, for liking my videos, for sharing them, and for subscribing. And please, if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I have also created a Patreon page, and if you would like to show a little love, you know, please patronize me on Patreon. People say, don't patronize me. Please patronize me. The link to Patreon is in the show more section below. I welcome constructive criticism. I just kind of did it today. It was, or yesterday, I should say. So I've kind of, you know, trying to get my head around all this technical stuff, and you know, it is what it is anyway. So I would really appreciate it if you check out my Patreon page. So without further ado, let's go to the astrological happenings and transits this week. Now we have on the 1st, we have a full moon in Virgo. Now Virgo is the opposite sign of Pisces, and Pisces is dreamy, watery, go with the flow, spiritual, yeah, whatever, you know. And Virgo is practical. It's an earth sign. It's, you know, a perfectionist, analytical, you know, has to get things right. Now, this is happening, I normally don't mention the degrees, but this is happening at 11 degrees and 22 minutes. 2 power numbers. So that's kind of exciting. So it means it's a very powerful full moon. We're going to feel kind of emotional and possibly self-critical or criticizing others. We need to be aware of this. We need to be aware of our internal dialogue. We need to be aware of how we need to be kind. So we've got to put kindness and compassion in front this week. And it's really important to keep our focus on what we have accomplished as opposed to what we haven't, and how we've done our best. And if we are going to criticize, we need to do it in constructive criticism. Like I take constructive criticism, I welcome it. I can have growth through constructive criticism. I don't take that personal, but when it's unkind, and of course, that hurts my feelings if it's unkind. So I'm very fortunate that I get lovely comments. Occasionally, I'll get one or two that are unkind, and I just send them off with love. Because what you put out, you know, you get back sometimes. So I have to be mindful to be constructively critical about myself, because we can also, when we're constructively critical with ourselves, it's kind of personal growth, isn't it? It's looking at where we need to improve. That's constructive criticism, but it's not, you know, like you're no good and you can't do this and why do you bother, and you know, you're useless, and you know, those kind of thoughts are not helpful. So we have to really be aware of our internal dialogue and how we're treating others. We all want to be treated with kindness and compassion, don't we? So that's what we need to do. We need to do with others. Now, at the time of this full moon, around the time of this full moon, we also have Mercury in a positive aspect to Jupiter, which means, you know, Mercury is about the intellect, Jupiter is about expansion. So it means, you know, brilliant ideas, innovative, creative ideas. And I always feel that we get that when we go inside and we meditate. So that's a brilliant, wonderful opportunity to meditate and get these wonderful, incredible, creative ideas and how to move forward with our lives. Now, we have, of course, we have the sun in Pisces. and right next to Neptune. And the sun is about identity. Neptune is about, spirituality, angels, guides. It's a wonderful time to connect with your spirit guides and angels and really connect spiritually, and really identify what your belief system is. This is a wonderful time to explore that. Incredible creative meditative meditations are possible at this time. Now, Mercury and Venus are conjunct with Jupiter in Scorpio, right? Mercury and Venus in Pisces are conjunct with Jupiter in Scorpio. So we've got Jupiter in play a lot. This is expansion. So it's very, very important to keep our thoughts and positive and optimistic, and because we can go down the spiral in the other way, right? Whatever we focus on expands at this time. So it's really, really important to really look at how we're thinking and what we're projecting out into the world. It's a wonderful time. That aspect creates this wonderful kind of spiritual conversations. It's about being receptive. It's feminine energy. It's receptivity and it's healing, deeply healing. So when we can have these philosophical, incredible spiritual conversations, and it's a very healing energy that's coming in. It's about having trust and faith in divine timing. It's about being patient, because we could have this tendency to be a little irritated next week. If we are aware of that, we can sit back, take a breath, and just, you don't know what someone else is going through. You don't know what feelings they're processing and so it's about being patient, it's about being kind, and it's about stepping back and being in Pisces energy. Okay, let's go with the flow. You don't have to beat the horn. You don't have to, shout at someone. You don't have to, put yourself in that anger. Now, Venus and Mercury connect with Chiron, right? And Chiron's the healing wound, the wounded healer, the healing wounded, the wounded healer. This is a perfect time for healing and personal growth, and it's a positive healing energy. So this week, I think, is a wonderful week when we're aware of the shadow side of things, so that we can keep it on the positive. We can, connect with other people and, have these wonderful conversations. We can meditate. We can work on it, healing our soul, healing our psyche, expansion, growth. Personal growth. This is a perfect week for personal growth. March has the energy of the number 5. Freedom, expansion, change, doing things differently, not wanting to be tied down, keep moving forward, keep it on the move, restlessness, right? So it's interesting that we have all these planetary aspects, this astrological change that's going on. So it really kind of goes with March, right? Okay, let's go to your cards, shall we? Hello, Aquarius. You are my last reading, Aquarius. I told you I always sing that for you guys as I'm shuffling. Anyway, your first card, darling, for this week is the Emperor. He's the King of Kings, darling. He's an incredible boss. He's one of these people that's, he's very fair, but he's fierce, He doesn't put up with anything. He's very strict. It's all about structure and rules for him, and it's about organization, dotting your I's, crossing your T's. This is saying you've got to get organized, declutter. I always think of declutter with this guy. It's like, Declutter your mind by meditating. Declutter your house, your office, your car, whatever it is. Clear things out. Let go of things that no longer work for you. Clear your space, because you look at someone's house and that reflects their mind, their state of mind. So, you know, if there's clutter around, then their mind is all cluttered. So it's important to declutter. I'm going to get to something else in a minute because it's kind of interesting. Okay, I'll tell you in a minute. But, okay, so I don't want to get ahead of myself. Clarifying that is the Queen of Summer. Now, she's this wonderful, emotionally available, and it's interesting because he's not emotionally available. He's kind of, you know, detached somewhat emotionally, but she's extremely emotional. She's full of love. She's takes care of everyone, and she's a really incredible mother, wife, businesswoman. She's very good. She always listens to people. She cares about them. She's full of empathy, and sometimes to the detriment of herself. So sometimes when this comes in, it's saying, listen, yes, take care of people. It's important. Yes. Look after them. Yes. But don't forget to look after yourself. It's very important. When she comes in, it's saying, listen, you know, take care of yourself. No, it's that old, you know, it's like when you pull the oxygen mask down in an airplane, you have to put the oxygen on yourself before you can help anyone else, right? So remember that, Aquarius. This is about not running ragged and, you know, helping everyone else and you becoming ill or exhausted because you're doing too much for others. So it's something to be aware of this week. And then, darling, you have the Nine of Swords. Get out of your head, Aquarius. You know you're an air sign. You're in your head a lot. This is really important. Get out of your head. It's funny, right? Because she's all about heart and intellect, right? So when you balance when you connect your mind with your heart, you have pure intelligence there. You can be cerebrally intelligent, but if your heart's not connected, you're not going to have the passion and the emotional intelligence to connect with people. So it's very important. This is the Nine of Swords, also affectionately known as the Drama Queen card. This is in your head going over and over and over the worst case scenario. What if, what if, what if? If only I had done that. Oh, but I should have done that. Oh no, but will he do this? Will she do that? I don't know. What is she thinking? Is she thinking of me? Is she thinking of... it's like... your head's exploding. This is sleepless nights. It's a waste of energy. This is a waste of this is exhausting. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. Get out of your head, Aquarius. Meditate. I have a free meditation, for goodness sake. I'll put the link on the screen at the end of this video so you can click on it. And doesn't take a lot of time. The time you have wasted in your head, you could have done my meditation 50 million times over. Come out of your head. Now, underneath, clarifying that, is the Two of Autumn. It's like juggling. It's like balance. And it's about being focused on the present moment. When you're here up in your head, you're not in the moment. Not at all. Because you're off on some fantasy. You're in a dream, you're in a fantasy, and you're not right here, which is the present, right? So this is saying you need to focus. Look, it's so easy to kind of be here. We all go here. We all do. But hopefully we have some awareness when we realize that we're here. We're like, come on, let me go. Let me get down to earth. Thanks for sharing, but I'm not, you know, I'm not living that way anymore. So this is like multitasking. It's balancing. It's like juggling. It's keeping your eye on the ball. Do not let your focus wander. Don't daydream, and it's so easy to daydream this week. So this is about keeping the focus, being in the moment, totally laser focus this is. So you're asking that. And then we've got the Empress. So you've got the Emperor, the King of Kings, and you've got the Empress, the Queen of Queens. Look, she's this creative, she's pregnant with brilliant ideas. She's about to give birth to ideas, and she's creative, and she's manifesting, and she's like, psh, 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 psh. And so he has to come in and clean up after her. He's like structure, rules, boundaries. She's no boundaries. She's, psh, psh, you know, creating. You know, when someone's really passionate and they're creating, they're not thinking about it. You know, I say that to my friend. She freaks out. I stayed at her house and I said, yes, I'm very the Empress. You know, when I'm cooking, there's food on the floor, on the, you know, she's just the thought of that sends her here. And she's an Aquarius. I love torturing her. I just give her a little spin like that, and I know she's in her head for like, but she laughs, she knows. So it's just the little shadow side of me. I love to have fun. So clarifying the wonderful Empress, this wonderful manifesting creator, and this is a perfect time to get into your creative endeavors. You know, what have you wanted to do? What is it that you want to do? Get into it. This is like wonderful changes coming for you, positive change. This is clarifying the Empress. So this is a wonderful positive change that's coming up for you, Aquarius. It's a welcome relief for some kind of heavy times that you've been through. There's been some heavy emotional times. I'm not saying that they've all been heavy, but things are really starting to lighten up for you. And the Six of Winter has come up in quite a few cards. Readings this week. So I have a feeling that it's almost like, you know, the water, it's very washy, wishy-washy, go with the flow. It's very relaxed, you know. We can't really be here. This is very, you know, worst case scenario, analytical. It's time to come out of your head, darling. And the only way you can do that is through meditation. It really is. Clear your mind. Declutter, you know. Let the Emperor do his job. Aquarius, thank you so much for tuning in. Mwah, I love you all, and I'll see you next week. To inquire about or purchase any of Mary's services, please email mary@liveinthesolution.com.